Why, hello there everyone. I'm Laxow, aka the Kumo Sensei. Minasan, konbanwa. I'm back, and as promised, allow me to show you what has happened, some updates, and some babies. So let's get straight into it. So a lot of this video is going to be focused on this species here, the Pamphobeteus antinous Peru. And this specimen here that freshly molted in this video is Rambo, and this happened during a little bit before Christmas. So I will show you guys the footage of him right now, freshly molted, and him post-molt 1 week later of us feeding him, and the other specimens of this species as well. So let us get straight into it. So let us talk about Rambo for a second. So I actually believe that Rambo is actually a penultimate, meaning he has one more molt until he's a mature male, and honestly, I would not be surprised at this point, because I did measure his most recent molt, which is what you're seeing right now, and I will show it on this video of me measuring it, and honestly I was kind of surprised. I'm 99% certain this guy's in penultimate, but if not, then that was shocking me even more, because he's a relatively big boy now. And he also kicked a lot of hairs when I was trying to get his molt out, which you probably noticed the dust-like particles. Yeah, all of those are the urticating setae. But don't worry, I was fine. It didn't affect me too much getting his molt out. But anyhow though, here I am trying to stretch out his molt, so that way I could get a proper measure on how big he is in diagonal leg span, or DLS. Now stretching out this molt was not difficult, because it was freshly molted out, so no need to add water or any moisture. Just go ahead and spread it out, which you're seeing me do right now. And in measuring this molt, honestly I was surprised at how big the leg span was for this molt. So it stretched out a little over 5.5 inches, so somewhere between 5 3/4 to 6 inches in leg span, and honestly that is impressive. What it means is that this guy, Rambo, is currently probably sitting at around maybe 6 inches, maybe a little bit over. And now we're going to do a time skip of us feeding Rambo. And I have to say, he wasn't the biggest eater. He did eat actually, but it wasn't really how should I say this? It wasn't really aggressive. It was more like a cute bite of a feeding, which is honestly kind of interesting. People say that Pamphobeteus has, great appetites like Theraphosa or Formictopus, but in my experience, they're good eaters, but they're not aggressive eaters. I would say good eaters is the right word, but I wouldn't say aggressive eaters. Just in my experience though. To each their own, I guess, because some people might have good eaters. And you may have also noticed that Rambo still has some urticating hairs on his carapace and on his legs, which is I thought was kind of cute and kind of funny, because man, those urticating hairs got everywhere on him, even after post-molt. And honestly, I've grown a little bit attached to Rambo and Bamboo, so let's hope they don't get eaten once I breed them in the future, that is. But anyhow though, let us jump into Bamboo, our other Pamphobeteus antinous Peru. So Bamboo is actually a little bit smaller than Rambo now, since Rambo freshly molted, but I also still do think that Rambo and Bamboo are both penultimate. But at this point, let us wait and see, because I don't want to call shots too early now, because I do want to enjoy them as long as I can. Now I do want to discuss about some bad news as well. So my Pamphobeteus species Pertursi, or Pertursi, my mature male, passed. So 2 days after I fed him, I woke up and I just found him in a death curl, which he passed on, and I don't know why, which honestly upsetted me a lot, because now I have to find another male. And although I do have a general idea of where to get more, the fact that I still lost him still gets to me a little bit. But the breeding project is not yet over for that species, because like I stated, I have a general idea of where I can get another one, so not all hope is lost just yet. But that is pretty much the only bad news that has happened. And now I will also like to talk about my breeding projects I want to do for this year. So as all of you have noticed, for those who have been around, I've downsized my collection, so that way I can pretty much, I don't want to say start over, but start in a new direction. And I really want to start getting into the Asian species like I wanted to for a very long time now. While I have sold away some of my Brachypelmas and Grammostolas and some of my New World tarantulas, I still do have a good portion of my collection, about 50 to 75 spiders, and a bunch of the babies that I produced last year as well. I still want to pursue my tarantula breeding career and experience with the Old World Asian species. So let us see what we can do for this year. And now I'm going to be showing you my Pamphobeteus antinous Peru, my adult female. And I did ask for a name for this specimen here, and one person did commented and left a name, so I'm just going to use that name for this tarantula here. So welcome to our collection, Miranda. So surprisingly, only one person decided to leave a name suggestion for this tarantula here, and that person was Graysalt, who left a comment stating that this name should be Miranda. Since that's the only name recommendation I got, that's the one this tarantula is going to get, Miranda. And I believe that's how it's pronounced, so Miranda it is. So let us talk about Miranda for a second here. So Miranda is actually a very large adult female. Now she's not as large as a Theraphosa, but still a large spider nonetheless. Now I do kind of wonder how she'll react once I introduce a mature male into her enclosure. I just hope that she doesn't want to, snack on them, but let us hope for the best because Miranda is a great eater and I'm going to see what I can do because our boys Rambo and Bamboo are penultimate and they should be mature their next molt, but let us wait and see. Now here's pretty much the last thing that has happened over the Christmas break, I guess, when I was gone for a week, and that is our Monocentropus balfouri, our third female, has finally had her egg sac hatched out, and these babies are still fresh and they're still pretty much around their mom, so they're not exploring the enclosure just yet, but it's good to see that the babies are alive, healthy, and the mom is very tired, so she's not going to eat. I'm going to give her about, 3 days, maybe 4 days until I feed her again. So let us wait until she's ready. And right now, all she's pretty much doing is being on mother duties, I guess, taking care of her, just taking care of her babies, which I find kind of adorable, honestly. So for Friday's video, I'm going to be feeding the balfouris, the moms, and the babies. So stay tuned for that. And without further ado, I guess I wrap it up around here. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to stick around. I upload every single Tuesday and Friday here on the channel, so please feel free to do so. And also support me on my social medias, such as my IG and my Patreon. And with that, stay lax and Laxow out from the Kumo Sensei.